if you're like a creator and your videos aren't doing very well, you get proper scared about putting another one out because it reinforces the fact that you think people don't care about you and that like you're shit and all of this.
One of the most known clips on the podcast with yourself in is about opening up about your OCD, or specifically retroactive jealousy OCD. Now, I really enjoyed that video. Not that sounds horrible. I didn't enjoy it, but you know what I mean.
Laugh a minute.
Yeah. It was an interesting watch, but I don't want to like misinterpret this too much. Do you think that you could explain what it is for those who haven't seen the clip?
Definitely. So it's basically you get different forms of OCD, which I never realised. So you get the classic one that you see in films of like neatness and all of that, but you can also get intrusive thoughts, and sometimes they can be like hyper violent, they can be like hypersexualized, and they can take loads of different forms, and you can't really explain them, and it's not how you really feel, it's not what you really want, but you just can't stop thinking about something. So mine was always like growing up and being a teenager, mine was always about if I had a girlfriend and that, it'd be like their past would be on my mind all the time. And like to the point where it was like every like 10 seconds or whatever. And it's weird because I was actually, I've got so much better now. I'm been put into, because my OCD got really bad, but I've been put well into the recovery stage now. It doesn't really have too much impact on my life at all.
Oh, great.
But I remember at the time, it was like a couple of, maybe like a year ago, I'd be driving to work, and I was just remembering this yesterday, but it's quite a good like way of explaining like how bad it is. But I'd be driving to work and I'd have the radio turned up really loud because I didn't want to think about anything. And I'd just be like shouting, just be like, fuck, like fucking hell, like stop, just stop. And that, you know, sometimes it wasn't even the retroactive jealousy. Like it would be like, I'd look at a number plate of the car in front of me and memorize it. And then I could not stop thinking about the order of the letters on the number plate to the point where it literally drive me mad. And I'd be like, I just really want to stop thinking about this now, but I can't. And yeah, I've always had stuff like that, even when I was a kid. But yeah, the worst it got was the retroactive jealousy, which was, I think because the thoughts weren't really stuff you'd want to think about anyway. It was like way more painful. So yeah, horrible condition.
Stuff like that is tough for all the different varieties of it are so tough for people, because like, I sort of know how it feels. I get intrusive thoughts, but they're more sort of anxiety induced coming from that side of things. And you feel like you can feel like a prisoner in your own head. Like if there was another person there going like that to you, you'd turn around. Would you just fuck off?
Yeah, literally. Yeah. And you're so right, because you can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. Like it's in your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, there's so many ways of, like, when I actually finally got round to doing the proper stuff to get over it and seeking therapy, it was like within like 2 months, it was like massively reduced. And it is something that I've been dealing with for 8 years. So yeah, sometimes I think the solution is easy. You just have to know what it is, which was definitely the case for me, for sure.
Yeah, I know what you mean. How much has changed since that video? Did you, I imagine you got quite a lot of messages and stuff like that, people sort of opening up to it about it?
Yeah, I still get them today. It's so weird. Because I used to YouTube it all the time. And when I first started having it, when I was probably like 16, I would type it in on YouTube and nothing would come up. And now when you type it in, like that happy hour clip is like the most viewed one, which I find like so mad. And I'm so happy it's sort of helped people or made them realize, like when I was 16, I would have loved someone to be like, oh, what you're going through is this, and you can sort it out. So that makes me really happy. I sometimes feel a bit like when people do message me, I link them to other places of people that actually are professionals, because I sometimes get a bit worried that people reach out to me thinking I'm sort of an expert on OCD, whereas I'm really, really not, and I don't want to tell someone the wrong thing. And
yeah,
but
don't
yeah,
carry that weight on your shoulders, right?
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's like it's been good. Like all my friends obviously found out, my family, and that was kind of like refreshing in a way. And I started my therapy a week after that. And yeah, I mean, the retroactive jealousy side is like pretty much just gone, like completely. But I have cross-composed, which is when you're coming to the end of the thing you're fixating on, and your OCD like latches onto something else in your life, which has been happening to me with, weirdly, with like numbers online, like social media numbers. So like I got loads of YouTubers saying happy birthday to me on my birthday, and I got loads of followers from that on Instagram. And since then, like it's going down a lot because obviously people are like, oh, who is he? Like I just followed him because it's his birthday. and the last sort of month or so been like so stressed out about that, and looking at the numbers going down and down. And then my YouTube views, I had all those 80s bangers, and that's been going down, and I've been just like getting so overwhelmed by it, being like, oh, no one cares anymore. Like I've had like this peak and it's never gonna whatever. And so that's been like what my OCD has latched onto more. But then I've been talking through that with my therapist and stuff, and that's been getting better. But weirdly, I saw I'm Alex in a live stream saying a similar thing, that he had uploaded a couple of videos and they hadn't done very well. And someone in the comments was saying like, oh, this sounds like upload anxiety, which is when if you're like a creator and your videos aren't doing very well, you get proper scared about putting another one out because it reinforces the fact that you think people don't care about you and that like you're shit and all of this. And that's part of why I haven't been uploading as much as well. It's like that 1 to 10 thing on the YouTube studio where it says like you get that 10 out of 10. It's just like such a shit feeling. So yeah, I've since the happy hour clip, like the retroactive jealousy's gone, but my OCD has gone on to like other things in my life, which is a bit annoying. But it's being dealt with now. So
yeah. Fair enough. I mean, I had Max Fosh on the last episode of the podcast, and he was speaking about a similar thing, and he's had therapy to help sort of work out why he cares about those numbers. And that's new. I've never heard that before. Upload anxiety. Wow,
yeah, I've never heard of it.
Millennials are getting different type of issues.
It's crazy, isn't it? Because even like some of my mates, and like I've heard some of my girlfriend's mates, they'll be like, "Oh, my photo on Instagram did real bad," and I kind of think like that. Like you've just got a personal Instagram page. Like, why are we caring about this? Yeah. I was talking to my mates yesterday being like, oh, I'll probably drop below 18,000 followers on Instagram soon. And they were like, yeah, but like you've still got 17,000 followers. Like, what's the problem? Like, who gives a shit, mate? Like, it is so like when you take a step back and look at the whole numbers thing, like it just does not matter at all. And we're all just like, they're just videos. Like it just doesn't matter. But yeah, like I watched that clip with Max, and what he was saying resonated a lot. Like, yeah. It's why do we care? It's mad, mate. It is mad.
Yeah, it's an addiction. It's an addiction for people, in my opinion. Like you can literally just pay for views and likes, which mean nothing though. Like you can pay to get like hundreds of thousands of likes on a photo, but they're not like, they don't mean anything because they're not a person actually engaging. That's just some bot has done that.
I know, and it's crazy because like Max might feel like a video's done really bad, but I've never looked at any of his videos and thought they've done badly. All my friends are depressed.